What's up, you guys? I'm back in the she shed. I got out of my feelings. I posted that I was in my feelings about having to have surgery. And I want to thank all of you guys who commented and gave me some positive energy regarding preparing for surgery. And right now I am trying to focus on the positive, like a lot of you guys said. So I'm not in my feelings right now. So I'm back on camera and I want to get into commentary. I want to give my commentary on Oprah and Gayle. And I also want to thank you guys who have commented on my last video who said that you actually wanted to hear my commentary on this issue, not just Snoop Dogg, 50 Cent, and Lil Boozy going off on Oprah and Gayle. So we're going to get into all of that. We're going to get into why they feel so comfortable going off on black women, but not necessarily black men. We're going to get into all of that, including the elements of black feminism that I see going on in this situation and in a lot of situations that are going on in pop culture right now. So, Oprah and Gayle, who the internet has affectionately renamed Oprah and Gayle, people are saying that they're working in tandem to tear down the legacies of black men like Michael Jackson, Russell Simmons, and even Kobe Bryant, who unfortunately just passed away. Now, I am going to speak about Oprah and Gayle separately because they are two individuals, and even though what they're doing might look similar, one, Oprah has a lot more power. Oprah has her own network. She's not working for another network like how Gayle is working for CBS. So I do think there's a power dynamic and there's a difference in the amounts of power that the two ladies have. So I am going to talk about them separately. Now, as far as Oprah participated, she lended her support to the Michael Jackson doc that featured his accusers, his accusers of sexual misconduct. We'll say misconduct. And she lent her support to that despite being a friend to Michael Jackson while he was still alive. She hosted an actor show on her network, the OWN network. And then she also was a driving force behind the Russell Simmons doc, which featured the accusers of Russell Simmons. And she was a driving force behind that. And she recently pulled out of it, but I want to make it clear she was deeply involved in it. And this is the thing. People are saying that she is working to take down the legacy of black men. Now, what I've found when I've researched, black women's response to this particular issue, I see a lot of black feminists, and I do consider myself a black feminist, not just a feminist, but a black feminist. And I see a lot of black feminists saying that it's not that Oprah is trying to tear down the legacy of black men like Russell Simmons. When she does a documentary that's focusing on the accusers of Russell Simmons, it's her trying to give a platform to black women's voices. Black women who have been, black women who are survivors of sexual misconduct and sexual assault, that she's trying to give them a platform, because what's happened in the Me Too movement was founded by a black woman. I hope I pronounced her name right, but Tarikana Burke founded the Me Too movement, and visually it looks like it was taken over by white women, specifically white actresses and white celebrities. But it was literally founded by a black woman. So they're saying that what Oprah is trying to do is bring it back, bring the Me Too movement back to where it started, which was a platform that was created to give women, specifically black women, a voice. Black women who are survivors of sexual assault and misconduct. It was created to give them a voice, and that Oprah is trying to work towards giving those women a voice, and it's not necessarily her trying to tear down a black man. And I want y'all to really pay attention to this reasoning and to this concept of patriarchy, which has us looking at the documentary that Oprah was producing on Russell Simmons' accusers. Patriarchy has us looking at it as being a documentary about Russell Simmons, because patriarchy puts the man first. It focuses on the man. So America is looking at it like it's a documentary about Russell Simmons, when it's really not. It's really a documentary about his accusers and giving a voice to women of color. Most of his accusers are women of color, and it's about giving them a voice, and it should be looked at from the perspective of women, of giving women a voice, not the perspective of tearing down a man, tearing down a black man. But because we live in a patriarchal society, America most of the world is a patriarchal society, so we look at things from a male point of view, and from a male point of view it looks like the takedown of a male. But when you look at it from another perspective, specifically the feminist perspective, it's more so the uplifting of the voices of women of color who have been allegedly victimized by Russell Simmons. And I keep saying allegedly because Russell Simmons has denied the allegation. Now this is the thing. Even though I consider myself a black feminist woman, at the same time, it doesn't escape me. It doesn't go over my head. None of this passes me that the same black women whose voices Oprah Winfrey wants to give a platform to and make sure their voices are heard, it doesn't escape me that that's also the target market for her network, the OWN network. When the OWN network was first launched, Oprah Winfrey's target market was women, but not necessarily black women. And when the OWN network first launched, it was also failing. It was failing, and that's why she had to get Tyler Perry, and Tyler Perry had to bring his market to the OWN network. And Tyler Perry's target market is black women. Black middle-aged women is Tyler Perry's target market, and that's also Oprah Winfrey's target market. And that's why you see Tyler Perry shows on the Oprah Winfrey network. He literally saved her network. So it doesn't pass me that while she may be trying to uplift the voices of black women who have survived sexual assault or sexual misconduct, it doesn't pass me that's also her target market, and that's how she makes her money, by reaching her target market. And I feel like that should be a part of the conversation. And I feel like that's the basis of what Oprah is doing. I feel like a lot of times things that we think are about race or about other social issues really come down to economics. If you scratch the surface of racism and misogyny and a lot of different social issues, it comes down to economics. And I feel like in Oprah's case, even though she is a billionaire, at this point she's still trying to gain, she's still trying to grow her empire. And I feel like the reason that she's focusing on Russell Simmons' accusers, for example, is not only to give voice to black women whose voices are not heard in the Me Too movement as much as they should be, but also because that's her target market and that's how she makes her money. Now, this is my personal opinion. This is Laila Lynn. You are not watching CNN. You are watching Laila Lynn. And this is my personal opinion. And this is the vantage from which I see things. I see things that, yes, she is uplifting the voices of black women, but at the same time, she's seeking to make a profit. And it is more economic to me, in my opinion. But leave a comment and let me know what you think. And let's get into Gayle. And when she did that interview with Lisa Leslie and she asked those questions about Kobe Bryant's previous case from 2003, I don't know why she didn't think that NBC would use those sound bites and use those clips to do the same thing to her. I don't know why she didn't see that. I really don't. Unless she thought she was above all this, which she's not. But unless she thought she was above all this, I don't know why she didn't see that coming. So when it comes to Gayle's situation, I feel like I partly believe what she said when she did her video.
I've been up reading the comments about the interview I did with Lisa Leslie about Kobe Bryant. And I know that if I had only seen the clip that you saw, I'd be extremely angry with me too. I am mortified, I'm embarrassed, and I am very angry.
And she explained that it was a very wide-ranging interview, that there were just those few questions about Kobe Bryant's previous legal case, but that the interview was about so much more. I do partly believe that, because I do believe that her network set her up, and now it's coming out that not only is she upset about it, but her co-workers are upset about it as well. So I think it's two different things going on with both Oprah and Gayle. And I feel like with Gayle, it's more of a work situation. I feel like she doesn't have as much freedom as Oprah because she doesn't own her own network, whereas Oprah owns her own network. So I feel like Gayle may be open to, if producers say, why don't you ask her about this case? I feel like Gayle may be a little bit more open to it because she's literally employed. She's working for that network. And although Gayle, I'm not sure if Gayle identifies as a feminist or not, but I do get the feeling that Gayle may have been open to asking Lisa Leslie questions about Kobe Bryant's accuser from 2003, his 2003 legal case. I think she may have been open to asking her about that so freely and following up with her so freely because she may consider herself like a victim advocate. Like she may want to make sure that the voices of victims are heard, regardless of race, not necessarily, putting black women's voices on a platform, but any victim voices on a platform. I do feel like Gayle may have had that as her motivation, but at the same time, we have to remember that the victim put out a statement saying that she didn't want to make a statement. She was receiving requests for statements in the wake of Kobe Bryant's death, and she had her attorney put out a statement and say that she doesn't want to make a statement at this time. Like, she doesn't want her voice put on a platform. She doesn't want her story elevated. She doesn't want anything to do with this. It sounds like she has more respect for the Bryant family than it appeared Gayle did. And I think Gayle should have at least respected that. If she's not going to respect Kobe Bryant's legacy and his family, and if you want to speak up for victims and the victim is saying that she doesn't want to be spoken for and she doesn't want to speak at all, I think Gayle should at least respect that. But these are all my opinions on my channel. Leave a comment and let me know your opinion. What do you think about Oprah and Gayle? And before I go, let me also talk about this, because I posted videos of Lil Boosie and Snoop going off on Gayle and Oprah yesterday. I want to know what you guys think, or if you've even thought about the fact that Lil Boosie, 50 Cent, Snoop Dogg feel so free. They so freely talk about Oprah and Gayle like dogs. Like, they literally call them dogs. Like a dog head female dog is what Snoop called Gayle. And I want to know what you guys think about them calling Oprah and Gayle those names so freely. But when Terry Crews was going down the wrong road and not standing up, or at least being silent in the situation with Gabrielle Union and America's Got Talent, you didn't hear anything from them. You didn't hear anything. Mums was the word. And I want to know what you guys think about that. If you have thought about that, I want to know what your opinion is about that. Leave a comment and let me know what you think. As always, thanks for watching.